Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining me. My name is Laura from Text Help, and I'm going to take up 30 minutes of your time today to look at Read and Write. So over on the right-hand side of your screen, you should see an area where you can comment, ask questions, introduce yourself. It would be nice to see where you're all from today. If you need this captioned, I can do it afterwards. I can edit it afterwards. I'll not be doing live captioning today. And if anybody wants a recording of the webinar, please do let me know. So I'm going to get started. I'm just going to add my screen. So as I said, my name's Laura. All my contact details are on that slide at the minute. I'll also share them at the end. If you need to get in contact, please do. So I work for Text Help, which is an ever-growing accessibility firm. We have an awful lot of companies under our umbrella at the minute. It's great to see we're forever growing and connecting with like-minded people. Under the Text Help umbrella, we do quite a few accessibility tools. We have Read and Write, which I'm going to focus on today, but we also have a tool for maths, a PDF tool, which I'm also going to show you a bit of today, because part of it is included in Read and Write. And we also have a writing tool. So we feel that with all of these solutions, it's a complete circle to help you within college or university. So as I said, today I am going to talk about Read and Write. So Read and Write is a solution that helps students understand, engage and express themselves. I think that's a lovely explanation of what it does, because it is all about engagement and expressing themselves, especially at a university level. Oh, I need to just hide that so you can see it. So when it comes to Read and Write and all of our solutions, this is a saying that's always resonated with me. Read and Write, as a lot of you may know, is necessary for some. So if you have scotopic sensitivity, you need a coloured overlay. However, Read and Write, as you will see, is useful for all. It's an amazing tool which can help all of your students. It can help them read, it can help them research, anything they want to do on a computer. It really can help them, and I hope you see that as we go through the demonstration. So let me just, I can't see any questions that come through if there is any. Jonathan's just said hi. Hi, Jonathan. Nice to see you here. So if there's any issues, I'll jump back to the main screen every 5 minutes or so, just in case she's asked me to slow down. I'm trying to train myself to talk slower, but sometimes I can't help myself. So what I'm going to do now is, am I sharing my screen? Yeah. I am going to go to this screen first. So PDFs by nature are inaccessible, but at university level, a lot of information is given out to students on PDFs. Whether you have accessibility issues or not, they're not great formats to do any research or revision on. We have created a brand new solution called OrbitNote, but the freemium features of OrbitNote are included in the Read and Write package. So what you would do if you have Read and Write is you would open your PDFs through OrbitNote, and this is what you would see. So this is a PDF. I have the Read and Write accessibility features on the left-hand side, and I have extra features that help me annotate, write, and amend the PDF. So I'm just going to go through. Some of you are familiar with Read and Write and what it can offer, and some of you aren't. But I would near enough say that most of you have not seen this extra part of Read and Write. So I think text-to-speech is one of the most powerful features that we have out there, and OrbitNote provides that as well.
The Social Care Institute 4C was established by government in 2001 to improve social care services for adults and children in the United Kingdom.
So you may have noticed there the word excellence was not read out. That's because I have blocked that word. So within your highlighting toolbar, you can block words as well. So you get the ability, if you're using historic PDFs as a lecturer or teacher or within learning support, you can block certain words so that it doesn't read them out. So I have done that just before, just to show you how that would work. So when they're going through and they're reading all this information, they may want to reduce the amount of information they have or take keywords from it so that they can revise those keywords at a later date. So the highlighting tool, which is part of Read and Write as well, the main package of Read and Write, is inbuilt into the OrbitNote package. So I may want to highlight some keywords. Doesn't matter which colour I'm using in this instance, but a student may use different colours for different topics or for different parts of their research. They can go through this PDF and highlight keywords, And once they've finished, they would go to this feature here, which is called your vocabulary feature. It's called vocabulary feature, but I would call it your key term or revision list. So what it will do here is it opens it up in a new document. So I'm on Google Docs at the minute, so we'll open it up in a Google Doc for me, but it would open up in Microsoft if that's what you're part of as well. So we have the vocabulary list. So this is a very popular tool. It takes the word, it gives you the dictionary meaning, it gives you the symbol if it's available, and then you have a word for notes as well. So what was a very detailed PDF with very high-level words, for example, I can take those high-level words that I need to research more and get used to and bring them onto another page to use at another time. So either you as a lecturer, a tutor, learning support, you can do that for the student or the student can do that themselves. Once you've finished, you remove the highlights. So that's really easy. This has always been part of Read&Write. It's a lovely tool. It's a very well used tool, and we've just inbuilt that within OrbitNote as well. Brilliant tool for all. Regardless of your ability, you will find pieces of PDF, Word docs, Google Docs. You will come across these words that you want to then take and save as your revision list, your key term list, regardless of your ability. So that's the useful for all part. Necessary for some, your coloured overlay. Nice setting that I like within this is my Read&Write. You can turn the Read&Write on, you can change your colour, you can change the opacity and just hit save. So I like this Read&Write because the coloured overlay is reducing the glare of the screen for me. I don't need a coloured overlay, but it reduces the glare of the screen, especially when I'm at a computer all day. But I get distracted with things. So this works very well online as well, the screen masking, when there's lots of images and distractions and ads especially. So what I can do here is
Provision.
Click the text that I want to have read aloud.
We achieve this by identifying good practice and helping to embed it in everyday social care provision. See Works 2.
Okay, so what I've done there was it read out the paragraph, but the Read&Write was on it as well. So it's helping me to really focus on what's being said there and to reduce the distractions in the background as well. So again, that works whether you're in the internet, Microsoft Word, Google Docs, and within PDFs as well. So sorry, bear with me. I'm just going to jump back to the other screen to make sure there's no questions. Yep, that's fine. Normally I'm at home and have two screens and I can see everything, but I came into the office today for a wee change and I can't see the questions. I always worry in case I'm going too fast or I've lost connection or you can't hear me. So PDFs, if you have an historic PDF as an example, you may want to reuse it, but it's a firm structure, okay? It's very hard to amend, but all of our annotation features will help you amend it. So whether it's a teacher or a student, what you would do is you might use your annotation features, to amend it, to draw attention to certain paragraphs. So what I might say is draw a circle around this, then go to my text feature. And write extra notes for the student, because I can share this with the student afterward as well. Now within here, we always talk about accessibility, multiple ways of expression. I can type it, I can use the dictation, and I can use the speech input as well. So whatever the student's normal way of working is, they can do that here as well. And I just click away, and that is saved on the PDF as well. You can do the handwriting to make notes as well, and you have shapes. Okay, so that's all available. I like the pin notes. So this here, the text that I use, it amends the PDF, and as you can see, it's sitting there, and I can see it straight away. I like the pin note because it does just that. It puts a push pin on the PDF, and I'll only see the information if I click on it. So it's not really adding more information to the PDF. So if I scroll down and put my push pin here, okay, making a note as the teacher and click it away. So it didn't embed text on top of the PDF. It's a pin note, okay? So I know there's something there that I need to look at, and I click it when I'm ready, and there's the additional text there as well. So you can nearly have a two-way conversation back and forth because you can share this PDF back and forth with your tutor as well. So all the features that we're used to within Read&Write as well: PDF, accessible, your dictionary, have it read aloud.
Verb. Cause to become widely known. Spread information, circulate a rumor, broadcast the news. Verb.
Okay, so I stop that. So few features just make the PDF more accessible, more usable, more friendly for your students. There is such an abundance of historical PDFs out there. We want to reuse them, but it can be difficult to reuse them as a student or a lecturer. This gives us the ability to do that. What you also have here, I'm not going to go through all the features because I'm going to show you in Word as well. You have the visual dictionary. Again, very, very useful. I'm going to show that in Word. You have the screenshot reader, which reads text within images. We have the translator inbuilt as well, the vocab, which I showed you, and the screen mask. And now, if you have not seen Read and Write before, you may not know what those words are. You will see them in the next part of the demonstration when I'm showing it within Word. So I just thought I would start with the new bits of Read and Write, I suppose, because I know I have some historical customers on here. So this is brand new within Read and Write. So just to be very clear, Orbit Note is a standalone solution, but you get the freemium features of Orbit Note in Read and Write. If you want any information on that and to be very specific and clarify what you get, just let me know after this demonstration. So again, I'm just going to go back to my screen to see if there's any questions about that. No, we're good to go then. So Read and Write is a toolbar. Okay, I hope I've said that before now, because that is what it is. So within any platform that you're in, whether it be Microsoft Word, Google Doc, PDF, or the internet, you have access to all of these accessibility features. So I talked about the text to speech, the ability to have things read back to us. It means we don't have to stare at the screen, and the amount of text isn't distracting us. Picture dictionary, I haven't shown that. I'm going to show it within Microsoft Word. I really like the picture dictionary for a few reasons. I'm a visual person. I like to visually see something. Opening the dictionary is just adding more text to me, and it's just a lot for me to process. But if I come across a word, so if I look up the word incentives and look up the picture dictionary, oh, of course, the one word depicts no image. Let me see. Okay, this would only happen on a live webinar. Japanese is bound to be a word. Yes, okay, so click the word. It gives me a visual prompt on the right-hand side. What I like about this is click that word, and I can embed it into the document. So every time I reread this and I come across the word Japanese, I have a visual prompt. Oh yes, I know what that means now. What I really like about this is I can keep it open. Okay, I'm not always clicking it each time. So I'm reading along and I come across a different word and I think, okay, I don't really know what that means. And I double click it. It changes on the right-hand side. So it's helping us to support the reading process because it's giving us that extra support as we need it. So I can have it read aloud, I can look up words in the dictionary, the text dictionary or the picture dictionary, depending on what I need here as well. And this works on the internet as well. So I'm not sure what planet you're living on if you're not talking about podcasts at the minute. So if anyone's any recommendations, a good podcast, throw it into the comments. But I'm listening to the Diary of a CEO. So when I'm out walking the dog, or sometimes if it's just a wee bit of admin to do in work, I stick on the earphones and just listen to a podcast. It is just another way for us to get information at the minute, and it's very popular, especially among the youth. So instead of always giving out text to the students when they need to study, so instead of rereading, looking at a screen all day, which is not healthy for us, we need to get out and about. What you could do here, let the students know, is take the text, take your revision notes, and make an audio file. So you just click the audio file on the right-hand side. You can preview it, you can hear it, you can change the voice, and you just save it onto your desktop. So you can email it to a student. You can open your email on your phone and listen to it. So students, everyone goes out for a wee walk now for their mental health. They maybe have a long commute to get into uni. They may go to the gym. It's another way of helping them access the information and helping them study. In days gone past, I recorded myself on a tape. I'm giving away my age here. I recorded myself on a tape, my revision notes, and listened to it back and back and back on those a cassette with the big massive earphones, which wasn't very portable at the time. But this is the way that the youth now is accessing work, and it's through an audio format. So we as lecturers, the support team within the university, we can help them with that, show them the audio maker, but the lecturers can also be guided and helped by saying, look, you're passing out an awful lot of information, an awful lot of black and white text here. It's very hard for people to process. Why don't you send out the text, but also connect, like create the audio and attach it to the Microsoft Word document as well and send that out as well. Goes for your staff as well. You're sending out very large pieces of text, policies, etc. Think about the person that's getting that on the other end. Is it healthy that they sit at a computer all day reading black and white text, or give them the option to listen to it? Doesn't mean they're going to listen to it, mind you, but it's giving them the option. It means that they can go and study at their own time, wherever they want, whether it be out walking at 10 o'clock at night, on their commute on the bus on the way in the morning. So I just think that's very relevant when you think about the way that we work at the minute as well. So I'm just going to jump back, see if I have any no recommendations of any new podcasts. Feel free to send them my way. So go back to the Word document. So the audio maker, okay? So staying on that same line of audio instead of text. Sorry, I keep losing my words today. Audio feedback is very, very important, especially after the last 2 years. I'm not going to mention the word, but we lost that human interaction, that human connection. So sometimes when we send texts or emails, or I use Google, so I use Google Hangout. I'm sure some of you use Microsoft Teams. There is no intonation, there's no guidance. So if you say something, the other person may take it up the wrong way. I'm sure you all know what I mean, but again, with feedback, it's very easy to say wrong, 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 amend, amend, amend. Use the audio feedback within Read and Write. So we have it here, voice note. The student knows me, the student knows I'm their teacher. I can give feedback with my voice. I can be kinder. So yes, this may not be the perfect essay, but what I'm going to do is give them really constructive feedback with my tone of voice, and that will be better than red pen all over their essay. Sorry, I think I've got cut off here. It looks like I can't see the top of my screen here. Hold on, I'm going to remove that and add it back. If anyone's online, can they see my Read and Write toolbar? I think it's closed on my... Bear with me 1 wee second. Sorry about this. I can't seem to get to my desktop to see my Read and Write toolbar. Right, let me see. Sorry, I think it closed on me. Looks like it did. I'm just reopening. Apologies about that. It's just taking a wee second to open. Okay, so I'm going to go back there. Okay, Jonathan, thank you for interacting with me. So Jonathan, can you see the toolbar again now? Is anyone able to see the toolbar, and just let me know it's there, if that's okay? Just before I continue on. I have a feeling it is there. I'm just going to keep going. We have another 10 minutes left here. I'm just going to keep going. Hi, Laura, I can see the toolbar. Brilliant. Thank you, Tim. Okay, so I'm just going to go back. Completely lost my train of thought. That just decided to stop working on me. So I'm not sure what happened there. So we want the students to be independent. We want them to be able to access all the information that we've provided them so that they can revise themselves. And that is what we need to do, is think about how they are accessing information and what their day-to-day lives look like. So there may be very little human interaction. They may be sitting in front of the computer all day. My little sister, who's studying nursing, I don't understand it, but she's studying nursing, which is a very physical degree to me. She's sitting on a Microsoft Teams meeting at the minute, so it's not great. She wants to be in a hospital, she wants to be working, but a lot of it, she doesn't even know some of her classmates. We want to be able to add that human interaction, and you can do that by giving the feedback verbally. I think it's just nicer. A lot of us are now using the WhatsApp voice notes. It's a wee bit of crack, give your humour. It might take you longer to actually handwrite the feedback than just say, look, hope you're having a good day. You really need to look at your bibliography here. Can you change that and get back to me? Hit send, and it's gone. Okay. So it's just another way of interacting with your students. And it looks like we're going to keep blended learning, giving students the option whether to come into uni or not. but having that human interaction will help them in their course as well. So I'm just trying to think. Now I've completely lost my train of thought when something goes wrong for you. So I showed you the highlighters in the PDF, and I showed you it highlighting keywords. So what I'm going to do now is take it a wee step further and highlight key points of information. So this is, instead of words, I'm going to take sentences. So again, you're using the highlighters on the right-hand side, and you're just highlighting main points that will be relevant to you, maybe come revision time, maybe you've coursework, something like that. So I only have a wee paragraph open here, but you get the idea. So that's maybe what you would do there. So you might have reams and reams and reams of paperwork. What you would do here is go through it and highlight it. So I may have 2 pieces of coursework coming up, and I've highlighted all of them. Economic key information for the first essay in yellow and the second essay in blue as an example. So what you would do then is collect your highlights, and it takes it onto a separate page for you. Okay, so all of your yellow highlights would be together, all your blue and all your pink together. And as you can see, it's referenced it as well. So I can save this and come back to it at a different time and use it, because I can use the bibliography and reference it in the essay if I wanted to as well. And again, you may be taking key terms here or key bits of information, and you might end up with reams and reams of paper again. Highlight it, create an audio file, and use it as your revision as well. So I'm just going to close that down and undo the highlighting. So as you can see, and I hope you all realise that Read&Write is a fabulous tool. It is absolutely necessary for some. Some of your students will be bombarded with information. They will struggle to read the black and white text, and they will struggle to process what's been put in front of them. So we have tools that help them reduce the amount of text. We have tools that help, just don't have to look at the text, just create an audio file. We have the screen masking, which I showed you on the PDF. You can have it on this as well. And I'm actually going to show you here, because I was speaking to somebody at the university yesterday, and they said, Laura, sometimes the screen masking isn't enough. You need to be able to change the page colour. And they said, does Read&Write do that? And I actually doubted myself, and I was like, oh, goodness, I can't remember. So I actually did. I went into my settings and I went to the screen masking, and there's it there, change the page colour, which I actually had it set to. All of these little features are very important to your student. So tinting the whole screen, as you can see, the black and white writing behind it gets a little bit faded, but if you change the page colour, the black text stays as black as it should be in the front. You can use the tint typing line, so as you type, it tints the line that you're on, or the underline. So these are all ways that people would have adapted really pre-technology. They would have had the full overlay, or they would have just had the ruler. Speech is a big thing, different accents, voice. All of this is to do with accessibility and helping your student. Translation, not sure if this is a big thing in your university, but we have a translator, and I'll actually show you that after. All the different, so we'll just change it to Spanish. Oh, it's Vietnamese there, just stop the Vietnamese, so we'll do that. So I can actually go down here, take the text, hit my translator, and it'll translate it for me. So imagine you have lecturers that do have students that are Spanish, Polish, and Vietnamese coming into their classroom. They have to give them access to the work. They can translate it for them, or just let students know that Read&Write is there. Any way to help them independently access the work, read the work, and hear it back in the language of their choice. So, Couch to 5K. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Diary of a CEO, if you're not listening to it, listen to that as well. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to round up. I'm going to keep saying it. Necessary for some, useful for all. I think that's really came through here. Audio tools, the text-to-speech, the way you can reduce the text, they're going to be life-changing for some of your students. The collect and highlights, that's going to be a lovely addition for some of your students. What I hear a lot of people say is with assistive technology or technology, all of the tools, no one tool will solve your problem or help you get through uni and get that first-class degree. All of these tools are added to your tool belt, and I really like that. So this is a nice tool to add to the tool belt of your students at your university, because it will help them day to day. It will help them read, access, get used to the information, and it will help them hopefully become independent in the way that they work. And the good thing about this is once they leave uni, they go on to the workplace. We sell into the workplace. This is a lovely tool, as you can see. You go into the workplace, you work within Word, you work within Google Docs. It works seamlessly within both, as I've shown you, PDFs, and also works within your email. So this is a nice tool that can be embedded in their life forever. It's not something that you're giving them and then you're like, oh, actually, I'm going to take that off you now. So it's multi-platform, regardless of what you've opened on your screen, it will work. So I'm just going to go back to the main screen, see if there's does the screen reader work in translated languages? Tim, it doesn't work in all of them. If you drop me an email, I can give you a list of what it reads back and what languages it has. I'm not even going to take a guess because I don't want to get it wrong. I know, for example, it reads back in Spanish, French, German, Irish. But if you send me an email, I can confirm what it reads back in, because that's very important to hear back in their own language as well, in the correct accent. So what I'm going to do is go back to my presentation. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you want any further information, do reach out. We have lots of solutions available to you. Read and Write, I always say, is our bread and butter. I deal with unis, I deal with all the solutions that we have in Text Help. So my details are on the screen. It's laura@texthelp.com. My mobile number is 07918652174, and I'm also on Twitter. Give me a wee follow. I hope you've all enjoyed it. There's been, I can't see any questions as of yet, but if you do want any information, please give me a shout. And it was lovely to join you all here today. So hopefully there's 5 minutes left to go get a cup of tea before your next meeting. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.